I always say it's not about women, it's about women in leadership. That is why I started the Will Forum in 2007. We have got to make women leaders. This is most delightful Will mentoring session that I've had in the last 12 years. Not because we are in the midst of a pandemic, but because I'm out here in these wonderful mountains with fresh air and fresh energy, rather than inside a conference room on a stage with all the lights shining down at me. And I feel that we are far more inclusive like this. We are far more collaborative like this. We will also bond together better. I want to welcome all of you participants. From today till the end of tomorrow, we will be calling you Will Mentees 2020. You will be our 13th batch, Lucky 13. You will be our Lucky 13 batch of Will 2020 mentees. And we have high expectations from everybody who attends our program. Now, the high expectations begin because the program is not about me. The program is about you. It's about what you are going to do. It's about what you are going to learn. It's about what you are going to embed. It's about what you are going to embrace. It's about how you will reformat your mind. It's about how you will re-engage your mind, you know, like a Rubik Cube. You take a Rubik Cube, what color do you want to see? We don't want to tell you what color you want to see. It's not important to us. You decide what color you want to see. You want to see red, you want to see green, okay. But how will you reformat your mind to see that color is what we are here to teach you today. At the same time, the colors that we want you to see are colors of leadership. This is a leadership program. I always say it's not about women, it's about women in leadership. That is why I started the Will Forum in 2007. We have got to make women leaders. We have got to make a robust pipeline of women leaders. We have to make sure that the women aspire for leadership. We have to make sure that we embed the leadership skills in you if you aspire. And then we have to make sure that we crack the top positions. The figures on the top positions on boards and women at senior leadership level are too low for us to have what I call a competitive economy, to have a cutting edge economy, to have an innovative economy. And that's what business is all about. But that is also what societies are about. Because when we do business for the society, for the community, because we are taking all the resources from the community and then we give back the resources to the community. So it's really important for us to have this kind of a mindset when we sit down to do the Will Women in Leadership program. How will you connect your power of self to aspiration for leadership? And how will you take it down to your business? And how will you then take it to the societies and the communities who will then give us power back? That is the circuit that you need to understand. And at any point of the circuit, if one of you drops out, which means that if one of you does not want to aspire for leadership, well, we have that many few women. If there's somebody on the leadership that does not want to connect business to communities, well, we've got one less person there. And if we have a few people who don't want to go back to communities and give back to the power of self, well, we got that many less people there. This is a very, very powerful circuit. And our job at the Will Forum is to make sure that we have an ecosystem that makes this circuit very robust. You all have a very high responsibilities as Will mentees. We expect all of you, we encourage all of you, we want to inspire all of you to take this program with a lot of reflection, all right? It's not just another program. It's a program where for 2 days, we want to be sure that you have understood what each of our distinguished speakers comes and gives to you. Each one of the speakers has been chosen with great care. It is something that we have found in them that we want to embed in you. I also want to say that we have an outstanding will mentoring faculty, and you would have seen that in your program. They will be there through the afternoon, so that what we will do is everything that we have learned in the morning, we will discuss in the afternoon. All right? You can't possibly do afternoon sessions or discussions in a vacuum. In order to have a good discussion, you must have substance on the table. That is the substance we're going to put on your table. We want you to forget everything that you came to this meeting with. You don't need to remember anything today. We don't want you to know. We want you to have a blank mind, which is also an open mind. An open mind doesn't mean that you're a blank mind, doesn't mean you're not thinking of anything. A blank mind means you're cutting out the clutter. You're cutting out the noise. You're only keeping in your mind a dashboard which is open to receive, without any judgment, without any barriers, without any thought processes, just receive. And then when it will be time for you to process it, that's when we will have the will mentoring faculty that will help you to process these things, so that you can come with a very nice point of view and then process it along with some guidance. And then we might be able to come up with some real presentations that will showcase how are you a leader? What are the things that you don't have? Now, today we have an important direction of our program, which is called Agile Leadership. Now, you know, I'm really an economist. I have very little to do with agility. But as I sat down and read a whole lot of papers on agile leadership, a lot of them we've given to you as your pre-reading, one of the things I understood is that it's nothing new. There is nothing new in agile leadership. And I'm thinking, I've been doing this all the time, so what's new? I'm actually not able to understand what's new in agile leadership. The key components, learnability, adaptability, empathy, positivity, impact, it's always been there. Navigate, network, leverage. How come everybody has not had that in their dashboard of leadership? Why are they thinking about it now? And that's when it occurred to me, because I have always been like this. These are my fundamentals in leadership. And then I understood that the leadership we are seeing is not this leadership. That is why they have to learn this leadership, not us. We always had it. But the role models that we've been seeing on leadership do not show these qualities of agility. They show other qualities. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying there are other qualities that have been put down in us for many years. From B schools to corporates, we are looking at power leadership. We are looking at ambitious leadership. We are looking at leadership which is almost didactic, if you know the meaning of didactic, where people are preaching. We have only been given models of leadership that lead from the front without taking everybody with them. We have only seen leadership where the question of empathy and compassion come as a HR guideline, where it is not inherent in your spirit. That spirit has been missing for a very long time. And that is why I think somebody had to invent agile leadership and put it on the table for people to attend to. But I do want to say that agile leadership, the more I read about it, the more I know I've been doing this all the time. I really want to know what's new. And I have a feeling that if all of you reflect, if all of you participants, I currently have 100 participants, if all of you go and reflect on all of these qualities, you will actually understand that you had them all along. But the ecosystem was not allowing all these qualities to come out because they were feeding us with something very important called institutional bias. Now, we're not going to talk about institutional bias today. What I want to say is that it's very easy to transcend institutional bias. I've been able to do that, and that's why these qualities of agility I have found all the time. You can also reflect, and you will also find that when you take off the screen and the smoke screen, which are the institutional biases, you will find agility embedded within you. Your job is to release it, bring it to the table, make it visible, digital, online, AI, just make it digital. You are sitting on a tipping point. We are sitting on a huge tipping point of an incredible opportunity that I have never seen before. We can make ourselves visible on this tipping point, and we can use the technology to our advantage. Don't lose it. Don't lose this opportunity. It's extremely critical because, not because we are women, it's extremely critical because that is critical to sustainable growth of business, society, communities, and our planet. It is extremely critical to bring these qualities out and put them on the table now. We're on the tipping point, and I think that we should be able to reformat leadership. But it's going to take all of you 100 people. It's going to take all of you to do this, all right? And each one of you 100 is going to multiply another 100. And that's how we are going to change to agile leadership. Meantime, you can all enjoy the scenery. Yes, going to encourage you a little bit with the mountains and the hills here so that you don't have to keep looking at me, but you can also get some fresh energy from this.